Everybody ready?
Yep.
Coach, what was your reaction to the Texas A&M job coming up?
It's always sad when you see any coach get let go of. When people like to talk about it, it's almost sickening because they don't really understand the ramification that goes to the entire building. And it's always sad, especially the school that's important to our state as that school is.
What was your reaction to hearing your name linked? Or maybe you haven't heard, but people are saying you're one of the best candidates for that job. What's your reaction to that?
Me coaching in the state of Texas my entire life, and the success we've had at Gilmer and here at UTSA, it's natural. It means you've been winning a lot of ball games. It means I've had a group of seniors, 21 of them. They're going to play their last home game this Friday night, so they've had 4 years of success. And so that speculation is going to always come up when you've had great players like I've had and been blessed to coach them.
Have you addressed that speculation with the players? Does that need to be a topic of conversation within your team meeting?
It comes up every year except for my first year here, and so we've addressed it. And I told them it's a good thing. That means they're winning a lot of ball games for us, and as long as they keep winning ball games, there's always going to be speculation.
I know you guys are on the short week, and it's a lot of emotions with senior night, and now you throw that into the mix as well. What's it like just trying to balance everything through this week?
They're used to it. We've been through it every year. This is year 4, and year 2 there was a ton of speculation, and year 3 there was a lot of speculation, and year 4 there's speculation. And we're still here winning games, and hopefully we're playing for our 3rd straight championship.
Not from the coach's standpoint, but from a humanistic standpoint, it's got to be flattering, though, to know that your group of seniors, your coaches, have helped you elevate to the point to where you're considered to be one of those coaches that would be a job of that stature in this country.
It goes all the way back to the beginning in Big Sandy, Texas. I mean, one of my former players right now is the head coach at Big Sandy, and Brian Pull, to my former players at Jacksonville, who now 3 of those parents' kids are playing for me right now here, to Gilmer, Texas, to all the way to the University of Texas, to coaching receivers and tight ends, to running backs at SMU, to running backs at Arkansas, to now. Like, your players are always what gets that going. And that's what I hope never gets lost in any of this. I've had an amazing career with a bunch of amazing players, and I am just a direct reflection of all those kids that have helped me along the way.
Jeff, you guys moved to the Alamo Dome today just to get out of the weather?
Yeah, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I mean, my phone said 80 to 90% for the last 4 days, so we just spent about $3,000 on buses to go down to the Alamo Dome. We could have just stayed home, but by the time you get those buses rented, it's too late. You're already committed. So we went to the Dome and practiced today, and our indoor 30 miles away, 30 minutes away, honestly.
Jeff, how's Willie McCoy? Is he, like, what happened, and then what's his long-term outlook?
It all looks really good. It was just precautionary. He was ready to go on the field. They just wanted to make sure that his spine was intact, and all that was great. And I don't know how long he'll be out. Obviously, they'll be careful with precautionary stuff, but he'd come back today if he could. They're not going to let him, obviously.
Jeff, how would you characterize otherwise the health and kind of freshness of your roster, getting to rotate some guys out late in this game?
We're not too bad. As compared to last year, we were a lot worse. We've got JT missing, we've got McKay missing, and all the other guys are just day to day. And Kavorin could have played last week. We were just being smart there, so we're banged up a little bit. But obviously, whenever you miss your right tackle, which is the comparison of a left tackle, and you're missing a 3rd-round draft pick at wide receiver, that's not ideal. But our guys have really stepped up, and we've learned to play as best we can without those 2 guys right now.
Are you guys as healthy on defense as you've been maybe since the opener?
Just, some stuff. Losing Nana didn't help. I mean, he was a really good outside linebacker earlier in the year. We've had Cyrus Dumas has been hurt the entire year. He hasn't played very much. So, but that's the 2 that have come to the top of my head. Other than that, I'd say, we're pretty healthy.
For you, coming into this program as a coach when you did, how much of an asset was it to have guys like Frank Harris and Rashad Wisdom who were clear leaders and role models in their units?
I don't know they were clear at that time. I mean, I think it's become clear. I mean, they were young, and they were trying to figure it all out too back then. Now they're a definite blessing. blessing, and they will be staples in the history of this school forever. And, you know, those kids are special. And I think not only them being great leaders and the families they come from, but also it was important those were San Antonio kids. I think that's been really cool. You know, Converse Judson is very, very proud of Rashad, as Church Clemens is, of Frank Harris, and all of San Antonio is now, those two kids. So I think that's just as cool as them being, they were always had natural leaders, to your point. But, you know, they were young. They had to kind of gain that on the team. And that's why the last 2 years they've gotten every vote.
How does that happen? Just by performing well and being that guy in the locker room, or
A
what
lot
was
of
that growth
things.
process?
There's a lot, you know. IQ, they're smart kids. They have character. They're good football players. They come from good families. So when they get home, they're not hearing a bunch of nonsense. You know, they get told the truth. And a lot of kids don't have that anymore. But those two children are young men, are blessed to go home to some really good parents.
What jumps out about the connection that they have to each other? Any like moment or interaction you're gonna remember?
Like just gripey old people that fuss and fight and bicker with each other, but they love each other and they make fun of each other at all times.
Any idea of what the emotions are gonna be like Friday?
I probably already cried a few times already. I'm sure I'll cry every day. It'll be tough. I mean, you know, they're all close. We're all close with each other, but when it's quarterback and head coach, you just take extra bullets. And I know that's a tough deal. Frank and I've been through a lot together, and it's going to be a special night. And like he always does, he's the most competitive spirit. He'll give me everything he's got, and whatever that is, that'll be enough.
What are you guys expecting from South Florida this week?
They're super talented now. They've got a really good quarterback. They snap it as fast as anybody in the country. They've got good skilled kids, man. Their running backs are good. Their receivers are really good. Defensively, they're just got great talent. They've done a good job there of getting that thing flipped around. They're playing for a bowl game. You know, they know they're on national TV. We expect their very best. You know, that's not the team you want to be playing for our last home game with these seniors, for sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.